Thank you, Aditi, for inviting me to do a short presentation here. So excited to be here. And I went through your website, very impressive, the kind of work that you youngsters are doing, and wish you all the very best. As Shrutik just mentioned, I'm Shabana, CEO of Trident Consulting. We are an IT staffing company here in the Bay Area. So I live in the Bay Area, and I've been living here from the year 2000. So I just don't have any formal presentation as such to give to you, but I just wanted to share a few life experiences, basically a few stories, if I may, with you all. So just wanted to talk about a little bit more about me, my life, and how I got to where I am today. So a little bit more about Trident is we are about 200 people company, and we have been growing extensively over the past, especially during the last 2 years, even during the pandemic. And we have won several awards. We have been in the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies consecutively for the last 2 years. And even during the pandemic, we grew about 1,000 ranks. We jumped, which was good. And we also became the fastest growing. We came in the top 100 fastest growing private companies in the Bay Area. And we were ranked 45. This was last year. So that is just a little bit about what I'm doing right now. And personally, I'm sure you'll be happy to know this. I love fast cars. I have a Kawasaki Ninja, which I ride sometimes. I also got my solo in flying. And during the pandemic, I did jump out of a plane, which apparently was not such a great idea, because after I did that, the next day I got a call from the agency telling me that another person who was sitting along with us in the same flight, he tested positive for COVID. So then I had to, quickly go and test myself. But again, it was all fine, and I didn't have any issues with that. So that's about a little bit more about me. And my mantra in life has always been that anything is possible, and always believe in yourself, right? This is truly the mantra, not that I had it as a mantra with me all these years, but looking back, now I realize that that has been my mantra. So once again, anything is possible, and believe in yourself. To talk about this, I just wanted to give you a few small stories about my life. So to begin with, I was born in South India, and I was the first person to do an MBA from my community. And after that, through the campus interview, I got selected into a company called Tata Telecom. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Tata's because they are a global company. And I worked with them for a couple of years. And after that, I wanted to get into my own business. So I started my own business, and I was running my own business for about 7-8 years in Hyderabad. I was doing really well. Marketing wise, I was really focused on marketing and really grew the company. And I was featured in the newspaper and things like that, because not many women at that time were into marketing and doing distribution and dealership in the Hyderabad area. We were the first to launch cellular phones in Hyderabad and Andhra Pradesh. But then I was so focused on marketing, and I was a first generation into business. I really didn't pay attention to basically finance. And then we went into a lot of losses. I think I'll have to really speed up, because I'll have to look at the time too. So I went into a lot of losses towards the end of it. And it was like it seemed like the end of the world. There was nothing positive after that. When I realized that the funds we have used up, we had to sell some of our properties and things like that to take care of the business. Though I really enjoyed and got a good name in the market for what I was doing. So then out of the blue, through my MBA classmate, there was an e-group which we had at that time. I got an email saying that there is an opportunity for IT folks, and this company is hiring IT folks in Hyderabad. I had no clue about IT, but then there was a line at the end of it saying that they're also looking for marketing people. So when I saw that, I said, okay, now, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Let me just go and apply. So I applied, I went and applied and met with this person, this gentleman who was there recruiting. Went and met him. I spoke to him for 2 hours. And then he told me, okay, we are giving you the job. Can you join in 3 weeks? I mean, in 2 weeks. I said, 2 weeks is a little bit too fast. I can join in 3 weeks. And believe me, I had no idea of coming to the US. I had never heard about what a H1 is, what a green card is, and I have absolutely no idea. Just that opportunity came to me, and I thought anyway, my business was really down and I really needed an opportunity to get out of it. And I accepted it. I had a young son. He was 5.5 years old. I had a business, my husband. I left everything. And in about 3 weeks, I packed literally, like they say, one suitcase, and I was here in the US and started my life. In 6 months, then my family joined me. So that is how I came to the US. I was used to having like 25, 30 people reporting to me in India, good business and, great lifestyle. But when I came here to the US, I had to start from scratch all alone. And that's another story I can tell you about my first driving experience, but we don't have too much time, but that is another 10, 15 minute story as to how I drove in the US for the first time. So that is one thing. So what I want to tell you is anything is possible, right? There I was, like very low in life, not knowing where to go from there. And there was like nothing that seemed to be positive, but out of the blue, this opportunity came up. It was just an email and I took up the opportunity. And then the next, in 3 weeks, my life totally turned upside down. And I was right here in the US, and then, and then rest is history, right? And then I started working for the staffing company. And after I got my green card and everything, I joined another company called HCL, which is again like a huge $6-7 billion company in the Bay Area. I joined them. And then after about a year, due to the downturn in the economy, I got laid off after a year. At that time, again, I was earning very well and everything was going good. Since I was on H1, my husband was on H4. So he took some time to come up to speed. So I was kind of like, my salary was very important. And overnight I had lost my job. But then I didn't want to give up. And the very next day, I had one of my friend, he was, he had his own company and he was working from Walnut Creek, and he helped me. He told me, okay, if you want, you can just use a room in my office and you can take that. And I just took up that opportunity because anyway, I didn't want to go and look for a job. I knew if I wanted to look for a job, I would get a job anyway, right? Because of my experience. But I didn't want to do that. Something told me that this is something that is meant to be, that I need to take this opportunity and not be afraid about the salary and how to manage the family. I need to have a faith of leap in myself and take on the challenge of starting a new business. So I started my business with nothing, absolutely nothing. Went and started working from my friend's office and just started making calls and reaching out to all my friends, all my contacts, all the clients that I had from my previous office. So that's about it. And then I started, getting 1 or 2 small orders. But then I felt that, I needed some big client. These small orders are going to take a long time for me to come up to speed and to the level that I wanted to be. So within a month of getting laid off and starting my business, I went back to the same company, HCL, and I told them, hey guys, why don't you make me a vendor? They literally laughed at me. They said, what are you talking about? We already have 100 plus vendors. We are looking to downsize our existing vendors. And moreover, we have so many VPs, like hundreds of VPs in our organization, and every VP has recommended a vendor to us. So, they're all at the top level. So even if we don't go with those vendors, we still have existing vendors, and you're too small for us. There's no way we can do this. So I told them, I had done my homework, obviously. I told them, see, I know that you are in your engineering division, you're struggling to fulfill some of those positions. And I'm not asking you to give me vendorship right away. Just give me those positions. You're not going to lose anything by giving me those positions. So they just, I think, wanted to get rid of me. They said, okay, you can go work on those positions. And they told me, if you get any closures, then you have to just route it through our existing vendor. We cannot make you a vendor. I said, fine, just give me that opportunity to work on your requirement. They said, okay, like, go. So I went, I met with the engineering manager. I flew down to Dallas, met with the engineering manager, took his requirements and started working on those requirements, hired a few recruiters and started working on those requirements aggressively, and put our heart and soul into that, and made sure we found the right people and started submitting those resumes to this hiring manager who was struggling, right? So then what happened is they found value, and they found that we were able to find them the right kind of candidates, and their existing vendors were not able to do it, because existing vendors were complacent. They were just like, taking care of the low hanging fruit. So then I went back to the same person within 2 months. He said, okay, I'll talk to you after 3 months. I went back to him in 2 months, and I told him, hey, did you get any feedback about us? What do you think? How are we doing? I just wanted to touch base with you. By that time, he had already got feedback that we were doing really well. And he said, okay, fine, you win. I'm not even going to wait for 3 months, and I'm going to give you the vendorship. So just that one thing, one act of being persistent and going back and believing in myself and what I can do, and the fact that anything is possible, it just made it happen, right? And that client gave me, like, in a couple of years, $5-6 million of business that client gave me. So this is how I have, like, this is how my life has been. I can give you many examples and countless stories of how this has happened. And even on my personal level, when I was growing up, when I was in school, I wanted to become a pilot. And through NCC, I had the opportunity to do gliding, power gliding, hang gliding. And then after that, I got an opportunity to join the Madras Flying Club and do some bit of flying. But then what happened, there was a news that some training pilot had crashed, and my mother got very upset and didn't have any way of reaching out to me. I didn't have a cell phone and all that. So after that incident, she didn't want me to continue flying. And also we didn't have the money for me to, because learning to fly at that time was very, very expensive. So we didn't have the means to let me fly at that time. So I had to stop, and then I got my seat in MBA. So I pursued MBA, and then I told you what happened, right? But that dream was always there. It was there within me that, hey, I could not get my solo in flying, and I very badly wanted to do that. So about 3-4 years ago, I pursued that dream, and I went and joined the Livermore Flying Club, and I got my solo in flying. So that was something that, that was my dream. And I felt that, anything is possible. Doesn't matter what age and what are the circumstances and what are the obstacles that you face. If you want to do it, and if you believe in yourself, yes, anything is really possible. So that is another short story that I wanted to share with you. And I guess I have one more minute, so I can probably quickly talk about from there to now where I am. So right now, like I said, I'm running a successful company, and I believe in my employees, and I want them all to do well. We are trying to open offices in a lot of rural areas in India, and trying to train people and bring them up to speed. We're always hiring people. We're hiring people in recruiting, in the IT space, in the sales space. And so that's where I am right now. And once again, thank you very much for this opportunity. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer. And if any of you want to reach me, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I can share my LinkedIn link out here. And any of you have want any advice for your future, or any career advice, or any advice on what you need to do in your next, what is it that you need to which courses you need to take. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to help you with that, but I can definitely try. I love talking to young folks like you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. So we actually do have a couple questions that we received in chat. So the very first question that we received was, what was the defining moment in your career for you?
Defining moment in my career was when I started my business right here, right? So all this while it was like one after the other, like one job after in the beginning, it was one job after the other. And then when I came here and I started my career, started my business, that was the change for me in my career.
Right. Okay. The next question that we received was, did you have a distinct sign that helped you follow what career you decided on?
Actually, no, I did not have anything in, like I told you, I wanted to become a pilot. I wanted to do that as a profession, but I was not really great at studies. So I knew that, but I was like, I knew I was a people's person. I love to meet people. I love to, like socialize and have fun. I have lots of friends. So I knew I'm not going to be an engineer or a doctor. I knew that for sure. So I took commerce as my subject, and I just built on that. And I didn't think in the beginning that, yes, I'm going to be a businesswoman, and all those thoughts I never had, but it just came to me. It just like grew on me.
Right, perfect. And another question we have is, was this career something you, or I guess that was already kind of answered in your previous one. So the final question that we're going to ask you before we head on to our break is, so if you could go back and change one thing that you regret in your career, or just in general, what would it be?
I would never change anything, because everything is a learning experience. And whatever I learned initially in my career, I used it in my business. What I learned in my business in the first time when I did my business, all the mistakes that I made on in terms of the finance, the issues that I had, looking back, I can say, hey, I wish I knew everything, but no, that made me a stronger person. That made me what I am. All the failures that I went through, um, those were stepping stones for me. That made me stronger. That made me work harder. And so there's nothing that I would want to change looking back. And one more thing I wanted to add is I'm also um, a volunteer in Asha for Education. I've been with that organization for many years, and it is to do with running marathons. When I joined that organization, I used to hate, or even till today, I hate running, but I joined that organization because it's for a good cause. And believe me, we raise funds, and those funds are going to the underprivileged children for their education. And we raise funds through running marathons. And like I said, I used to hate running. And then when I started this marathon training, I was like, what am I doing? I can't even run like a few feet to save my feet, and I'm into this. But believe me, a program like that really changed the way I think. Because everybody thinks of running as an athletic achievement, right? But I feel it is like a state of mind. It is a state of mind that tells you that anything is possible. Because if I, who like till today hate running, if I can do half marathons, a few half marathons, if I can do a 21-mile race, then anything is possible, right? It's just not an athletic feat at all. It's, again, I'm telling you, it's a state of mind. It's a state of mind that tells you anything is possible. And yes, if you guys want to do it, not just a marathon, but whatever you want to do, you will be able to do it. And once again, I strongly believe that anything is possible. So believe in that, guys, and go for your dreams.